weekend starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 Weekends. I'm Rachel Eiler. Thanks for joining us. Well, some breaking news tonight. President Trump taking to Twitter to say he's feeling well, but acknowledging that the next few days will be critical. That comes as there's confusion between his medical team, which is offered a rosier picture than a White House official who said the president was showing some concerning symptoms before he was flown to a military hospital outside the nation's capital. Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Amid mixed messages about his fight with COVID-19, President Trump tonight leaving an upbeat video message on Twitter.
I'm starting to feel good. You don't know over the next period of a few days. I guess that's the real test. So we'll be seeing what happens over those next couple of days.
His medical team proclaiming he was in good spirits and hasn't had a fever in 24 hours.
At this time, the team and I are extremely happy with the progress the president has made.
Dr. Sean Conley said the president developed symptoms Thursday, including a mild cough, congestion, and fatigue. But his briefing spurred more questions than answers. The White House later issued a memo correcting the timeline Dr. Conley offered, and he wouldn't answer certain questions, like how high the president's fever had been, offering only vague answers to whether he'd been treated with supplemental oxygen.
He has not received any supplemental oxygen?
He's not on oxygen right now, that's right.
He has not received any at all?
He's not needed any this morning today at all. That's right.
But the concerning thing again is, today they talk about the vitals being normal, him being up and around, him doing things. A little confusing as to whether he was on oxygen or not. That's important because if he was on oxygen, that means that his lungs are being affected at this point.
A source familiar with President Trump's condition telling NBC News' Peter Alexander some of the president's vital signs Friday morning were, quote, early indicators of the potential progression beyond mild illness. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Now, President Trump's medical team said he's taking an experimental antiviral treatment called remdesivir, as well as an antibody cocktail to boost his body's immune system. His doctor's saying they're not holding back on anything that could help him. And on top of that, the list of lawmakers testing positive for COVID-19 on Capitol Hill continues to grow. Republican Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, who heads the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, tested positive for COVID-19 on Friday. He confirmed this this morning with his spokesperson. Now, he added that Johnson feels, quote, healthy and is not experiencing symptoms, end quote. That makes him the third Republican senator to contract the coronavirus, along with North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis and Utah Senator Mike Lee. Johnson's office says he was exposed shortly after returning to Washington on September 29th and tested positive Friday afternoon. If the three GOP senators remain out this month, it could actually affect and prevent Amy Coney Barrett from being confirmed to the Supreme Court before the election. Now, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie also announced this morning that he has the virus. Christie helped Mr. Trump prepare for last week's presidential debate with Democratic nominee Joe Biden and was at the White House ceremony last weekend as well, and said that no one was wearing a mask during debate prep. All right, Devin, I think it's time for me to accept it. It's getting cold.
Yep, it's starting to cool off out there tonight. Welcome to fall. Almost, as I would say, an early case of winter. Let's take a look at the graphics right now where things are really starting to cool off out there tonight. And the pavement's still wet in a few spots like Stevens Point, where things are a little cool out there. And we also have frost advisories in effect due to that. Those are in effect until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for Marathon County and areas to the south and west. Now the radar. We had some rain earlier today. That is finally beginning to taper off. Maybe a few little bits of drizzle can be ruled out tonight, but otherwise the clouds will begin to break up. Temperatures right now, lower 30s already in Eagle River, Arborvitae, and Manitowish waters. Some upper 20s being noted in parts of Ashland County. Here's your overnight forecast tonight. Temperatures getting cool out there below freezing, dropping to the upper 20s by early tomorrow morning. Your full forecast is coming up. Rachel?
Thank you, Devin. Now, while President Trump may not be hitting the campaign trail anytime soon, his supporters are. A Vilas County political party assembled in Eagle River today. The group received a great deal of noise and encouragement from the community. Newswatch 12's Rachel Perry reports.
The Vilas County Republican Party has organized a local support for President Trump event in Eagle River. People have gathered on Wall Street and 45 North to show their support. With signs held high and drivers honking while driving by, Trump supporters look to stress importance of his continuing campaign.
He's at Walter Reed Memorial Hospital, and there were people in front of the hospital doing exactly what we're doing tonight, waving flags, showing their support for President Trump.
With additional Grand Old Party senators testing positive this week for the virus, including Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, Republicans fear Senate will not move forward with the Supreme Court vote.
She's a valid candidate, she's qualified, and I think she ought to be confirmed before the election.
The Republican Party event took place to stand for anti-abortion laws and support for Blue Lives Matter.
There's a baby in there. It's a baby. It's not a puppy. It's not a glob of cells. And people, once they know the truth, they make a much more informed decision.
Other supporters fear the outcome if Biden wins the presidential election.
I will be there from 6:30 in the morning until 8:30. I hope to see people in Conover. I hope that people vote responsibly after they educate themselves on the issues.
In Eagle River, Rachel Perry, Newswatch 12.
New social distancing guidelines will now be in place at the vice presidential debate on Wednesday in Salt Lake City as well. Sources familiar with the planning tell NBC News that the Commission on Presidential Debates has agreed to seat Vice President Mike Pence and Senator Kamala Harris 12 feet apart. Now, the original plan was to place them 7 feet apart. The change was made at the agreement of both campaigns, and negotiations to put more space between them were underway before President Trump did test positive for COVID-19. Well, the gallery is mixing community and culture to bring a bigger picture to life. When we return, I'll tell you just how artists are working to educate others on Indigenous history through their paintings. That's after Maine weather with Devin Biggs, right here on Newswatch 12.
Our lives have been turned upside down with this coronavirus. While our lives are challenged, we still have immediate needs. If you need a new roof, call Brinks Exteriors at 715-ROOF-PRO. We can fully take care of you over the phone or through our online virtual presentation. And if you need a new roof, the government has provided Brinks Exteriors permission to replace your roof at a very fair price. After all, we're here to help. Call 715-ROOF-PRO.
He's a hometown boy, born and bred, a lifetime spent in service to others. 8 years as an officer in the Navy, 26 years as a police officer here at home. Paul will do right by us in the state Senate, too, making sure we invest in Main Street, not Wall Street, as we rebuild our economy. And he'll create more job training and invest in our technical colleges so that everyone has a chance at a good-paying job. Paul Petrusky for State Senate.
These days, we need effective leadership more than ever. Leaders like Ron Kind. He led the fight for free coronavirus testing and got it done. And he's making sure rural hospitals can keep their doors open so you can get care when and where you need it. And he's the only candidate fighting to protect people with pre-existing conditions. Ranked one of the most independent members of Congress, Ron Kind focuses on one thing: moving Wisconsin forward. AHA PAC is responsible for the content of his advertising.
Introducing Granite Stone, the all-new durable non-stick pan. No butter or oil needed. Look, sticky candies, burnt-on cheese, caramel and chocolate. Even upside-down pan pizza just doesn't stick. Perfectly sear a filet or fire flambe. Get your Granite Stone pan for just $19.99. And with every order, you're going to get a Granite Stone single-serve egg pan absolutely free. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-898-6703. That's 1-800-898-6703 or order.
Hey, welcome back and happy Saturday night, and more frost advisories are in effect for Marathon County and areas to the south, and those will expire tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. And for those of you wondering why aren't there any in effect for the northern counties, we've already had our hard freeze for the year, so we don't need any more advisories. Our growing season has come to an end. We've seen plenty of rain over the past few days. This is since last Sunday. Many areas seeing up to 0.8 of an inch of rain in many scattered spots, and some snow in parts of Rhineland area yesterday as caught by our own Justin Betty. But let's look at just today here and see just how much rain we saw, and really just saw just a little bit in southeastern parts of Marathon County. Well, that's about it. Anything that we've seen has been few and far between. We only had a trace of precipitation today here at the station. Radar right now, everything has finally begun to clear out. What's left of the return is now moving just off to the east of Green Bay. So we are done with any of the excitement with regards to the rain. And we have a dry forecast in store as all of it right now tracking off to the east. And the clouds starting to break up right now too. So that's some very good news to report. As low pressure tracking off to the east. So here's low pressure right here. That's going to move off to the east. Look at what's behind it. High pressure and a couple centers of high pressure. And that equals very nice weather in store this week. We only had 2 chances of rain in store the next 7 days, and those are both during the evening. But your high temperatures today, to switch over to temperatures, still cooler than normal for this time of the year. We're supposed to be in the lower 40s for this time of the year. And here we go. Or actually, we're supposed to be in the upper 50s for this time of the year, excuse me. And here we are doing lower 40s and upper 40s in a few spots. A few lower 50s further off towards the south. But definitely still cooler than normal. And temperatures already cooling off at this hour in the lower 30s in Eagle River and in Manitowish Waters. Upper 30s in Wausau, Stevens Point. A few 40s being noted in Marshfield and in Wisconsin Rapids. So over the past few days, temperatures have been well below average. And today and yesterday just made the icing on the cake. We only had 43 degrees, which is 16 degrees below average. But we'll work on that. Our average high again is supposed to be 59 degrees. And we're going to work on that. We'll hit upper 50s again by Monday. Then we're going to be up and down with the temperatures. And yes, that's a 65 in the forecast by next Saturday. So some good news is in store. What will this look like? We're going to push this trough, this big bubble of cool air out of here. Then we'll get caught in a little bit of a war zone between the warm air and the cool air as that seasonal change falls a transition season. And we're going to be seeing a lot of that warm and cool air coming up. But futurecast for tonight, the clouds will be kind of hit and miss tonight. Maybe a few flurries possible in the parts of the UP. But for us, going to stay dry and pretty clear overall. We're going to have plenty of clear skies and lots of sunshine for the day on Sunday. And Sunday night, things stay clear, so plenty of opportunities for the temperatures to cool off again to the lower 30s. And note the black lines right here. These are isobars. The wind's going to be out of the southwest going towards the northeast. We're going to get a little bit more gusty as we head towards Monday morning. As the weak system moves on in, we'll have a little bit of some clouds that will be moving in, and that will be about it. Then that gets out of here. And really, we're going to be looking pretty good until Monday night before rain chances move in. So tonight, the rain that we're seeing is coming to an end now. Decreasing clouds will be expected late. Lows in the upper 20s, a cool one out there. The winds will be nice and calm. For your Sunday, partly cloudy skies, highs in the low 50s, still cooler than normal, but not bad. Winds out of the north at around 5 miles per hour. And your Northwoods Furniture and Mattress 7-day forecast. Isn't this a beautiful sight? No precipitation at all except Monday night and Tuesday night. Temperatures warming up each and every day to the upper 50s to low 60s, mid 60s by Saturday. Rachel?
Thank you, Devin. Well, a local art gallery has 2 new exhibits for the month of October focusing on Indigenous art. Newswatch 12 Sierra Whaley attended the gallery and has details.
Number one is it good art? And that's been our big goal is let's bring the best art.
Combining culture and community. That's Rhinelander's hidden gem Art Starts goal. Volunteer Patty Fitzpatrick believes there's no better way.
It can entertain and just be beautiful, and it can also, challenge, make a statement, question.
Their current exhibition by Andy Messerschmidt focuses on agriculture, expressing the human impact on the environment while reflecting Indigenous culture.
Part of this exhibition is what he calls his agriculture series, and it's a statement on the environment and how people have changed the environment probably from the beginning of time.
Astounded by the work herself, Fitzpatrick saw the message beyond the paint.
Oh my gosh, if we could just figure out some of these things, if we could just try a little harder, we could start to turn this around.
Even through the pandemic, Art Start's mission has remained the same, and that's to bring in pieces that the community will love, but will challenge your mind. Exhibit number 2 presents Andrea Carlson's Sigils for Travelers of I-94.
At one time, all of that was Indigenous people, and that, that there's kind of this, how it would have once been, and then how it is now.
Both artists educating and expressing the Indigenous culture through the purest form, art. In Rhinelander, Sierra Whaley, Newswatch 12.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. The weather is getting colder, and it's time to start thinking about what winter sports may look like. Right, Andrew?
I know people don't want to think about winter just yet, but the Rhinelander Basketball Association already is. Plus, a Saturday showdown in Forest County. We'll have highlights of a lively Three Lakes Leona Wabeno game coming up.
Get your new dock or boat lift from Dvorak's Docks during the Dirty Dock Sale. That's right, find the best value in the Northwoods guaranteed at Dvorak's Docks on Highway 45 Elko. If you want top quality at a fair price, stop in or call 275-DOC.
As a senior enlisted Navy SEAL, I'm a tradesman. I worked with my hands my whole life. I've supported myself since I was 16. Ron Kind's trade is politics for 23 years. He trades your tax dollars to Nancy Pelosi and the liberal elites for power and influence, and even backed giving illegal immigrants $1,200. Well, that's ridiculous. It's time to trade in Ron Kind. It's time to send a SEAL to Washington. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Okay, fellas, let's rock and roll. What are you guys seeing up there?
Please press 1 to speak to an offensive coordinator.
What?
Press 2 to speak to a defensive coordinator. Para escuchar en español, marque 3.
You gotta be kidding me.
Remind you of your wireless service? Cellcom offers live local customer service from a team that's here to provide clarity. Cellcom, clarity in a cloudy world.
For a menu of stadium food options, stay on the line and someone will take your order.
What would Joe Biden's plan do for you? Families with young children could get nearly $7,000 for childcare. Buying your first home, you'll get $15,000 towards the down payment. If you get paid by the hour, your income could grow by as much as $14,000. Older seniors, your yearly Social Security benefits could increase by $1,300. The Biden plan. The wealthy and big corporations pay more, you benefit.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Our local shelters have lots of furry friends in need of loving homes. Watch News Watch 12 today, every Friday morning, to see a new cuddly cat or dog ready for you to adopt. Homeward Bound on News Watch 12 today is sponsored by Paws and Claws. Sports Watch 12 with Andrew Goldstein.
COVID postpones or cancels a new high school sporting event every day, it seems, and most fall sports are outside. So what on earth do we do when they move indoors? Well, the Rhinelander Basketball Association is already thinking about that. They held a bags tournament to raise money for their winter camps this year. This is especially important with COVID impacting sports for at least the next several months, which will limit the RBA's opportunities to fundraise.
We're definitely losing out on some of the fundraisers that we typically run, concession stands, weekend tournaments, stuff like that. So this is kind of put in place to help supplement that because we need to still move forward and keep trucking.
Decisions on winter sport activities will be left up to the Rhinelander School District. The earliest practice on the winter sports schedule is November 23rd. After Crandon football shut down for a week, Leona Wabeno is the only team active in Forest County right now, and they hosted one of their traditional rivals for an 8-man clash this afternoon. Rebels play in Three Lakes. Both teams entered at 1-0. Let's get the scoring started on the Rebel side. Carter Janish taking the handoff from Clayton Janish. A little spinorama, press of the square button. 4-yard score, 2-point conversion, no good. Next Rebel possession after a 38-yard Carter Janish run. Adam Sieber on the out route, capping off a 2-play, 48-yard drive, 12-0 Leona Wabeno. But on the ensuing kickoff, Evan Lodua fields it for Three Lakes, waits for a blocker, waits for a gap, and takes it the distance. We sped this up a little bit. He ain't actually running that fast, but points the same, 85 yards to the house. Three Lakes on the board, 12-8 the score in favor of Leona Wabeno. Second quarter, just under 5 minutes to go. Janish finds Michael Stamper, 15-yard touchdown. The Rebels win a high-scoring affair, 34-30 the final. So we started with football as the appetizer, a heavy appetizer at that. Now we move on to the entree, a delightful stew of volleyball and soccer. Let's check in with some Wausau area teams now. Newman Catholic Volleyball squaring off against Marathon. First set, the Cards are going to get out to an early lead. Maggie Wolf, a little misdirection. She saw the double block and said, I I ain't messing with that. Here's more from the Cardinals. Grace Carlson, cross court, you best believe it. Another spike, another kill, but the Marathon Red Raiders still in command. Ava Krieger gets just enough English on that ball for the point. Marathon sweeps the Cards in straight sets. So, now we can head to the pitch for some boys soccer action. Wausau West playing host to Marshfield. Tigers opened the scoring with an early goal, but then the Warrior offense kicked it up a notch. Ethan Catanaugh with the setup and Nick Rush with the finish were tied at 1. Just over a minute later, no rest for the weary. Rush forward to David Deloy going far post. Warriors have the lead. Marshfield would hang around for a little bit, but here's the dagger in the second half. Catanaugh. Oh, absolutely scrumptious shot. Round him up, young man. West erupts for 7 goals, getting 2 each from Catanaugh, Rash, and Deloy. Warriors take it, 7-2.
It's really a team attack, which generates a lot of chances. And I think as opponents wear out trying to keep up with that fast passing, the goals often are stacking up at the end of the game when the other team is just run out of gas.
Big rivalry game coming up for the Warriors. They'll battle Crosstown Wausau East on Tuesday. That's your look at sports. More news coming up after the break.
The world's greatest economy is coming back. But Joe Biden could wreck it.
I would shut it down.
Shut it down, or worse.
Guess what? If you elect me, I'm not going to have your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
Joe Biden will kill your jobs and raise your taxes.
I'd make the changes on day one.
Joe Biden is a job-killing, tax-raising disaster.
I don't know.
The man just doesn't have a clue. America First Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Attention, guardians of the grass, navigators of the turf, and keepers of the green. To the mowers of Green Acres, rural ramblers, and back to the landers. Whether you saddle up or buckle down, run with us. To the kid corrallers, grill masters, and all those who ride faster, run with us on a John Deere mower. Because this is more than just grass. It's home. Nothing runs like a deer.
Stop by Lakeland Lawn and Equipment in Arbor Vitae for special offers taking place for a limited time. Get great deals and service on legendary John Deere equipment.
Hello. I wish to inquire about your $500 off deal. Is there anything hidden I should be aware of?
No, sir.
No hidden plan requirements?
You choose your plan.
No hidden phone trade-ins?
Keep your phone.
No hidden activation fees or other trickery where video recorded evidence would be beneficial?
None.
Interesting.
Is that a camera?
What?
Get $500 off the latest phones with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular. Upgrade to Fair.
High Point Sand and Gravel provides high-quality riprap, sand, and screened topsoil for almost any need. The high-quality rock and stone, boulders, and clear stone enhance the function and beauty of your home or business. Offering convenient delivery or pickup throughout northern Wisconsin and the UP, High Point Sand and Gravel provides premium landscaping materials, specializing in producing beautiful decorative stone for all types of landscaping projects. Contact High Point Sand and Gravel to help make your next project a dream come true.
Welcome back to Newswatch 12. I'm Rachel Eiler. Today, for the first time, a rare look inside the grand jury hearing in the Breonna Taylor case that reignited nationwide protest after only one officer was charged with firing at Taylor's neighbors, but no one held responsible for Taylor's death. There's been such an uproar about the case and demands for the truth about what has happened that a judge ordered more than 15 hours of grand jury audio recordings being made to the public. NBC's Ron Allen has a story from Louisville.
As the grand jurors listened to the evidence in the Breonna Taylor case, at one point at least, they wanted to hear more.
We don't show all the videos, it just costs time. And we get time.
15 hours of audio recordings that Breonna Taylor's family hoped would shed new light on the botched drug raid at her apartment in March that left the 26-year-old emergency room technician dead. The tapes revealing it was a chaotic and confusing scene.
Was there a formal plan between the 7 officers as they made approach to serving the warrant?
I'm not aware of one.
During the hearing, officers can be heard numerous times discussing one of the most important issues in the case, insisting they announced they were police before breaking down Taylor's door.
I would say more than 2 minutes of me knocking on the door saying police, and I can hear somebody inside. I can hear her.
Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, also in the apartment, claims police never identified themselves, and he fired a gun he was licensed to carry because the couple was afraid of an unknown intruder. Taylor was killed when police returned fire, what prosecutors have said was justified self-defense. I'm confident that once the public listens to the recordings, they will see that our team presented a thorough case, Kentucky's Attorney General said in a statement. While Taylor's family's lawyer saying the jurors were stonewalled every step of the way by a prosecution team that had a predetermined outcome and a disingenuous agenda. Does this change anything?
Not for the family of Breonna Taylor. Our family is not satisfied, and the recordings can't tell it all.
After 25 years in Congress, Ron Kind's coasting, skipping 138 votes in under 3 years. When he does vote, he votes liberal, 96% with Pelosi. Wisconsin pays. For his votes, some claim more. Disturbing pay-to-play allegations that Kind charged constituents $10,000 for 1-hour meetings. Ron Kind's not king. He shouldn't be our congressman. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Betty and Debbie both need to trim their dog's nails, but Betty's dog hates having his nails trimmed, so she struggles every time. And her regular clippers pinch and cut to the quick. But Debbie's dog doesn't mind it at all because she's found a simple and pain-free solution. Introducing Paw Perfect, the new safe, quick, and easy way to keep your dog's nails trimmed perfectly. Paw Perfect uses a rotary filing action, just like the pros do, to gently file the nail to a perfectly smooth finish. Plus, our 3 safety guides are each sized to prevent you from ever grinding the nail down too far, giving you precise, pain-free trimming right at home. That's why now, Betty does what Debbie does and trims her pet's nails the safe, quick, and pain-free way with Paw Perfect.
As a veterinarian, I can tell you most people do not know how to cut their pet's nails. With Paw Perfect, it's not only easier, but it's much safer for the pet.
The rubberized grip makes it easy to control. There's even a built-in light for mistake-proof grooming. With Paw Perfect, there's no more rough nails scratching your floors, no more scratches on you, and your pet is happier too.
As a professional groomer, my clients rely on me to trim their pet's nails perfectly. That's why I use Paw Perfect. It's quick, it's safe, it's easy, and you can use it right at home.
Paw Perfect replaces old-fashioned, painful clippers like these and makes nail grooming safe and easy for just $19.99. That's less than 1 trip to the groomer. Plus, we'll even give you free shipping and a lifetime guarantee. Order right now and you can get a second Paw Perfect. Just pay a separate fee. Yes, you get it all for this special low price of just $19.99.
To get your Paw Perfect, call 1-800-671-5738. That's 1-800-671-5738 or visit us online at trypawperfect.com. That's 1-800-671-5738 or visit us online at trypawperfect.com. Call or log on now.
So, Rachel, you keep telling me you don't like the cold up here?
It's not
Come
that on. Everyone's going to hate me for this. It's not that I don't like the cold. I haven't been used to the cold in a very long time. Where I'm from, it doesn't get cold. I will say I'm very happy I don't really have to turn on my heat because my downstairs neighbor already has. So my apartment is very warm. I'm okay with that, though.
Let's talk some frost advisories real quick here. We're under some for Marathon County and areas to the south that will expire at 8 a.m. tomorrow. They're still in growing season, so make sure to protect those plants. Bring them inside if they're still outdoors. Otherwise, things are beginning to calm down for us. The rain's moved off to the east, and the clouds are clearing out too. That will allow plenty of precipitation or plenty of heat to really escape up in the atmosphere. So we'll drop into the upper 20s tonight, but we could get back into the 50s and even 60s next week. No rain in sight.
Well, that's it for your news around the Northwoods. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
And a new episode of Saturday Night Live is coming up next.